Hello, welcome to Sam's Tarot. This is Sam, and today I'm going to bring you a little review and introduction to the Exegesis of Philip K. Dick. Um, so, one thing I would like to try to start with my channel is to do some esoteric book reviews or books that have an esoteric inspiration behind them. And this is a fine example. Um, so first and foremost, Philip K. Dick is a great science fiction writer. If you have ever seen Blade Runner, if you watched The Man in the High Castle on HBO here over the last couple, 3 or 4 years, these are stories written by him. If you remember the old Tom Cruise flick, Minority Report, that is another piece of work by him. And one of the other things that Philip did is he tried to define the nature of reality and the esoteric meaning behind life, basically. And this fairly decent sized volume is a culmination of a lot of his note takings about these subjects. I'm actually going to read from the flap here because I think that does a lot better job than I ever could. That's why people write these things, right? Um, the Exodus of Philip K. Dick is a magnificent and imaginative final work of an author who dedicated his life to question the nature of reality and perception, the malleability of space and time, and the relationship between the human and the divine. Um, in the Exegesis, Dick documents his 8 year attempt to fathom a postmodern visionary experience of the entire universe transformed into information in entries that sometimes ran to hundreds of pages, in a freewheeling voice that ranges through personal confession, esoteric scholarship, dream accounts, and fictional figures. Philip tried to write his way into the heart of a cosmic mystery that tested his powers of imagination and invention to the limit. A lot of times, especially those that are into the esoteric, I won't say struggle. We explore, we investigate these things because we are looking for the connection between the divine and ourselves. Um, Sometimes we keep these things, some people keep these things separate, man versus God. Sometimes we um, recognize the divine within ourselves, namaste. Um, but a lot of people, especially well, ourselves, we go through this and challenge our belief systems and look for those answers and what is our answers, what is our truth. And Philip does this in all these note takings that then becomes his exegesis that we get to read. So I first came across this book years ago. I used to be a bookseller for Books a Million manager, and one of the neat things was, books could come in. You were allowed to, of course, removing the dust cover, allowed to borrow and take books home. And of course, if you didn't bring it back, yeah, you had to pay for it. But I remember when this book came out, or at least became aware of it, I went ahead and borrowed this book. And I didn't get a chance to finish reading it before I had to return it, but it fascinated me. Not because I bought into necessarily what he was selling or what he was writing, but appreciating the fact that, other people go through this process. And here was one man's account of how he went through it and what he was seeing, how he was tying things together. And so here I am years later, and I decided to pick up the book myself. Um, the book itself, as a physical object, is a beautiful gold cover. does have, I think the word is embossed, writing on the side for the title. The interior has actual um, scans of the some of the notes that he took within his notebooks, and you have some illustrations in here, not many, but you got a few that actually shows some of his handwriting from the actual journals that the editors took from this. There are some, I just flipped through one, small scans of some of the pictures and graphs that he might have used and all that. So it's not a read for everybody. I will say this. However, if you are interested in other people's perspectives on how they grapple with the meaning of life, if you will, and bringing it all together into a cohesive unit. Um, he's one of the few that wrote and did that, and then was respected enough to actually have it all later bound and shared with you. So in a way, I kind of consider this and actually kind of keep it. Well, I don't really keep it with us. You mean let me rephrase that. Um, but I kind of catalog this in as a modern grimoire. Actually, there's no spell work in here. There's no witchy woo, none of that. But there is a lot of philosophical discussion and thoughts and um, I think I read somewhere where had this been anyone but Philip Dick, this would be considered the ramblings of a madman. Um, and there's times when you're going to be reading this going, whoa, you are out there, man. You're out there. But at the same time, you have to give him a lot of credit because a lot of people uh, don't go this far down the rabbit hole to try to figure out what it is, at least for them. And so I have to give him a lot of props for doing so. And that's my little review of the Exegesis of Philip K. Dick. And if it sounds like a book you would be interested in, if you'll look in the description down below, you'll see a link to my Amazon affiliate link for this particular book. And there you go. If you like the subject stuff, hit that thumbs up. Make sure you hit the little subscribe button if you wish to. And I'm going to have to go and let one of my dogs out who's telling me it's time. You have a great day. Thank you, and goodbye.